You're listening to WTIM, your information station. It's time now for your expanded local news. The Illinois State Police are investigating a series of dangerous incidents along Interstate 57 in Effingham and Shelby counties, where objects have been thrown from overpasses onto passing vehicles. According to state police, multiple drivers have reported damage to the vehicles and over this past week. The incidents are being classified as cases of vehicular endangerment. It's a Class 2 felony in Illinois. Authorities say the acts pose a serious threat to public safety and are urging anyone who may have been or seen suspicious activity or has dashcam footage from the area to come forward. The target area is along I-57 between Effingham and Sigel, specifically near mileposts 165 and 170. And most of the reports have come in during the nighttime hours. Anyone with information is encouraged to call Illinois State Police at 217-342-7871. The investigation remains active. The Taylorville Kiwanis Club heard reports from Kiwanis committee chairs on efforts to provide projects for local children and youth at their Tuesday meeting at the Moose Lodge. Grants Committee Chair Randy Miller reported the grant application for other local nonprofits that have similar priorities for children and youth to apply to the Kiwanis Club for funding is now posted on the Taylorville Kiwanis Club Facebook page. Applications are being accepted until September 15th, with final committee recommendations going to the full Kiwanis board at their October board meeting. Kiwanis Park co-chairs Dwayne Stock and Larry Kimner reported the park is in good shape, with the pavilion booked through September. Bookings are handled through the Taylorville City Clerk's office. Future Kiwanis program speakers included representatives from the Christian County YMCA, University of Illinois Extension, and Taylorville Memorial Hospital. Priority 1 Chair Bruce Blanchard reported that Kiwanis will co-sponsor a car seat safety day at the Taylorville Fire Department on August 16th from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Blanchard also announced the annual Kiwanis Kids Days, collecting donations from the public at the Harrison Corner, which is Webster and West Main Cross, are September 19th and 20th. Blanchard, on behalf of the Kiwanis Club, is also collecting hand sanitizers and paper goods from local medical providers to give to the Taylorville School District to be used by teachers within their classrooms. The Taylorville Kiwanis Club is part of a global organization of volunteers dedicated to improving the world one child and one community at a time. Weekly meetings are held Tuesdays at noon at the Taylorville Moose Lodge. For information on the club, go to TaylorvilleKiwanis.com. Starting Thursday, August 7th, access to the Taylorville Food Center will change due to construction. South Madison Street from Market to Franklin will be closed, along with Market Street from Shumway to South Madison and South Simpson from Market to South Franklin. All traffic must now enter and exit through the 2 south driveways on West Franklin Street. That means the only way in or out of the food center will be by approaching West Franklin from Shumway Street. Drivers are encouraged to plan ahead and use caution within the area. The City of Pana has secured grants for water main and line replacements, a new outdoor venue coined the People's Plaza, and for improvements to their downtown. Small towns took a big hit in their ability to support local restaurant businesses and retail businesses when COVID hit. Now Pana officials are looking to bring them back to the historic area. Downtown improvements are at the very top of their list, says Economic Development Director Kirby Kasner. Kasner believes it's all about networking and planning to attract new investment and development to the town's already available spaces.
Downtown development is a top priority of my list. That was, the main thing that was highlighted to me whenever I was offered this job, and it's just been a huge focus of mine the entire time. I think a lot of people think, we should be seeing like these quick fixes, and, these things just take a lot of time. Sometimes we strike out, here lately, I feel like we've been hitting some home runs, so it's been great. But downtown development, and from my perspective with my job with the City of Pana, is basically taking some of our downtown historic buildings that have had minimal or if none investment here in like the last several decades. A lot of them have sat vacant for years and just have really not been given the attention that they need to serve as a proper retail space for a business. So what I've been doing here lately is just kind of broadening my network and reaching out to different communities and just really identifying and having prolonged conversations with investors and developers about different concepts for these spaces.
Kasner shares that Pena's acquisition of the Roseland Theater and the People's Plaza just across from it are necessary steps in the process. While the hope was to have the new outdoor space completed by this time, residents can plan to see this open by summer of 2026.
And a lot of people in the community are asking that question because originally our unveiling date for that was going to be the beginning of this August. Obviously, that's not going to happen now. But I do want to, for anybody who's listening from Pana and curious about this project, reassure them we do have the grant funding in place. All of the funding for this project has been secured. The problem with it, and if anybody's been in downtown Pana recently has noticed, we have had some issues with the buildings on both sides of where the plaza project is supposed to go. Just one of those things that you just can't, it's inevitable sometimes. It's just going to happen. So what we've done is we've formally requested an extension of the deadline of the project with the grant agencies that we've been working with, and we've been awarded those extensions. So now the plan is for hopefully late spring, early summer of 2026. So next year we should really be seeing some movement.
Equally important to their plans are the replacements being made to several existing water lines and mains. Kasner states over 9 blocks of lines and the 6th Street water main are first to get fixed.
We've secured a lot of grant funding over the last several years. We're close to $6 million in grant funding over the last 3.5 years. So we've been very fortunate in that regard. But I think it just goes to show, too, how many needs our community has as well. Whenever you don't have anybody who's writing grants for your community and the problems don't go away, they just continue to add up. So a lot of the grant funds that we've been applying for and have been formally awarded for, a lot of them are water line projects, which is great because we have a lot of aged and antiquated water lines in our community. So it's awesome that we're going to be able to address that. But we were awarded a grant through the state of Illinois, through the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity for water lines for about, I think we're at 9 blocks in the downtown area where we will have complete water line replacements. Another huge one for anybody who's familiar with the layout of Pana, our water treatment facility is out by the lake. So we have what's called the transmission main, which runs down 6th Street, and it's the vital artery for the entire community's water supply. And that water main is extremely old and needs to be replaced. And anytime we have a break in that line, it's catastrophic for our community. I mean, it shuts down the water supply for our entire town.
Following the second successful Pana Popcorn Festival, Kasner tells that events like these are the exact example of what they hope to accomplish.
It is the exact example of what we are trying to accomplish in Pana overall. And that's just not only bringing our community together, but welcoming visitors from outside of our community and showing them what Pana is all about. And I think the Popcorn Festival just has been amazing at showing that. The Pana Popcorn Festival is put on by Pana Parks Revitalization Committee, nonprofit organization comprised of all volunteers who are just very passionate about the parks in the city of Pana. And so this is the second year that they've done the Popcorn Festival, and I still think that the community is completely amazed at the amount of people that show up to support this event. You can work the hardest you can work on a project. You can reach out to as many supporters and vendors and sponsors to these types of events, but you just truly never know what you're going to get. And they have really, really made a successful event for Pana.
Find out more about the City of Pana by visiting cityofpana.org. Kirby Kasner appeared as a guest on the WTIM Pana Morning Show. This will conclude the first portion of your expanded local news, and it's brought to you by First National Bank of Taylorville.
I'm James Kirk, Vice President at First National Bank in Taylorville. I get it. Switching banks sounds like a chore, but we make it easy. I've helped people and businesses move their accounts with less hassle than they've expected and more personal service than they've ever gotten before. We've been here for nearly 70 years, a true community bank that's not going anywhere. If you're ready to make a change, we're ready to help. First National Bank in Taylorville, first every time for nearly 70 years. Member FDIC.
This summer for the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce is about improving transparency and bringing on additional benefits for their new and existing members. The GTCC website also has 2 new features, including the Taylorville Chamber online shop and their member education library. A great way of keeping track of various community events is through their community events calendar for all things Taylorville. April Wolf, Interim Operations Coordinator, spoke on the exciting new adds to the website as they continue to improve on it.
Well, we've got some big chamber news. We've been revealing different glow-ups over the summer, and we have yet another one. So pretty excited about that. Actually, 2 of them. So we added another member exclusive perk. So if you are an active member in our new member portal, you now have access to a member education library. So we've been having professional development 2 to 3 times a month through the summer, and as many of those as I can get recorded, I'm editing them into videos and putting them on that member education library. So if you're not able to make it in person, you have access to that professional development and that information at any time that you want to have it. And then also just this week, we opened our Taylorville online shop, our Taylorville Chamber online shop. So that is open to the public. That's not just member exclusive, but members do have special pricing. So currently we have several items from past Chili Fest events.
The month of July was a busy one for the Chamber and their many members. Wolf highlights some of the anniversary celebrations and ribbon cuttings that took place, and some that are even coming up.
We've been really busy with ribbon cuttings and anniversaries. So we talked about Bob Riding's 50th anniversary, 150th for Anderson Jewelers, 4th anniversary for Sydney Lynn's. We did the ribbon cutting and the big open house and grand opening at the Taylorville High School for that new whole facility. So that included special education rooms, new music and band rooms, Tommy TV studio, and the athletic facility. So it was several different components, not just one major component. And then upcoming, we should be having more information about the 25th anniversary for Florinda's. So I'm really excited. Florinda is such a sweet soul, and I definitely want to call attention to that. So I'll be sharing more information with you guys as we get that from her.
Business After Hours provide a great way to connect with other members and to learn more about the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce itself. Wolf Talks, the event held on July 23rd at the Christian County YMCA, and invited members to join them for their August 6th After Hours that were held at the Lincoln Land Community College of Taylorville campus.
Had the July 23rd was at the Christian County YMCA, which is wonderful, and they've their capital improvements have been so amazing. They are a cornerstone organization for all of Christian County, not just Taylorville. Bruce and his staff are just wonderful people, and we were so happy to go out there and do tours of all of the improvements that they've made. And now we are looking forward on August 6th, so a quick turnaround. So next Wednesday, August 6th, we will be at Lincoln Land Community College in Taylorville, and we are very excited to get to know the new director, Elizabeth Fines Workman. And Lincoln Land is such a huge contributing factor in keeping Taylorville's youth, building and growing, and keeping Taylorville the great place to live that it is. So we're really excited to be hosting out there with them. And we want to invite all of our members, and for our members to invite people so that they can learn about Lincoln Land and about the Chamber.
Registration is now open for Chili Fest, whether it's chili pepper pageants or to be one of the cooks. Wolf also discusses where to locate the community events calendar to keep up to date.
If you go to the website and just scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, it is right there. You can click on each of the events and it gives you more details. There might be flyers there, times, so on and so forth. So a lot of things happening, namely, which we're going to get to in the second segment, is the Music and Mud Festival with South Fork Dirt Riders. And then also big news, 9:00 tomorrow morning, the Chili Pepper Pageant registrations open. And you would be amazed to see how fast those spots fill up. Sometimes we have 17 spots taken in less than 3 minutes.
And pageant-wise, I'm sure we'll be good. Cooks-wise, how are we looking there?
We've had a couple of people that have already registered. A lot of people are going to Worlds. There's some cook-offs in between now and Chili Fest. So you can register now. We did go out to the Aldo's 2 Memorial Cook-Off and personally invite all of the cooks that were out there. So we're hoping that we have, the 10 in each category that we need, but hopefully more than that as well.
Find out more about the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce by visiting them at taylorvillechamber.com. April Wolf appeared as a guest on the WTIM morning show for our bi-weekly chamber chat. It's becoming more of a common occurrence in Illinois weather forecasts during the summer months to have haze from Canadian wildfires. Teresa Wells is a weather risk communicator for DTN. Air quality alerts have been issued across the Midwest in the last week, including in the Chicagoland area, due to the Canadian wildfire and their smoke. Moving now to obituaries, which can be found at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com and are brought to you by Sutton Memorial Home. This is Chad Sparks.
When a loved one passes, grieving family members and friends often are confronted with dozens of decisions about the funeral arrangements. Sutton Memorial Homes in Taylorville and Nokomis have been helping families in the area for over 55 years with these often difficult decisions. They offer pre-planning, traditional funerals, and cremation. Austin and the staff at Sutton Memorial Homes' goal is to make your family's transition easier in their time of need. Sutton Memorial Homes, where caring is what they do best.
84-year-old Sonia Diane Nelson of Taylorville died on August 3rd. Cremation rights have been accorded and no services will be provided. Funeral arrangements are being handled by Sutton Memorial Home in Taylorville. 88-year-old Marlon Durbin of Kincaid, formerly of Palmer and Morrisonville, died on July 29th. Graveside service will be August 9th at 11 a.m. at Thomas Anderson Cemetery north of Palmer. Funeral arrangements are being handled by Masterson Funeral Home in Kincaid. And 78-year-old Joseph Henry Halbert of Dwight, Illinois, formerly of Kincaid, died on July 9th. Visitation is August 16th from 1 p.m. until 4 p.m. at Reeves Funeral Home in Gardner, Illinois. Cremation rights have been accorded, and funeral arrangements are being handled by Reeves, Fruland, and Baskerville Funeral Home in Gardner, Illinois. Get details on these and other local news stories at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com or on WTIM. WTIM is your only local news radio.
Here's Cousin Bill from